Now you'll see that energy is not listed on this picture. We'll have it on the next one, but protein does supply some energy, but it's a very small contribution and it's not a primary role. The body is made primarily 45% of protein, and the structure, movement, transport, hormones, those are all cell signaling, those are all functions of the protein. So here's just another way of looking at it. A couple other things here. I have energy source there, but I think if you're a visual person, that figure 5.5 gives you a good perspective of role of protein. Muscle proteins are continuously turning over, and so there needs to be a balance between muscle protein synthesis and muscle protein breakdown. While exercise is often thought of in relation to breakdown, a benefit of exercise is also an increase in muscle protein synthesis. So it is beneficial in that regard. You'll see that the amino acids are available, are actually transported in the bloodstream. The amino acid pool is visually shown in this picture in the center, the box in the center, and it just identifies sources of amino acids, where amino acids go, and also somewhat how they can be used. So the dietary protein is digested into those amino acids. There's also turnover. The liver can make some amino acids, and how it's removed is through nitrogen compounds like ammonia, can be used for energy in the citric acid cycle, and it can be excreted in the urine. And so one of the things that a high protein diet does is it increases the need for fluid intake in the body. Nitrogen balance is a good indicator of the status of nitrogen and, more importantly, protein intake. As you recall, that protein is unique because it carries a nitrogen. And if we know the protein consumed, we can identify the nitrogen that has been consumed, and then evaluate how it's excreted and do a comparison between what someone is consuming versus what somebody is excreting. We excrete it in our sweat, in our feces, and it can be measured. If somebody is in positive nitrogen balance, that means that they're in a building phase. Now, if you recall back to the beginning work, the term RDA was identified, and the RDA, or recommended daily allowance, is only 0.8 grams per kg. This means that 99% of the individuals are going to be able to be absolutely fine with that much protein. The percent of total calories would be equal to 10 to 20. Now, athletes have been pooled in this particular slide, and as we move later on into the semester, we'll look a little bit more deeply at certain types of athletes in terms of, is it an endurance athlete or a strength athlete, and those values will be tweaked a little bit. However, generally speaking, we're going to look at 1.2 to 2.0 grams per kg, or 15 to 35% of total calories contributed by protein. And we're trying to look for lean sources of protein and also high quality proteins. And when somebody is in heavy training, heavy energy requirements, that would be a special circumstance, or if they have an injury and they need more for muscle building, or they're ill, that would result in a greater requirement of protein. So the factors that influence how much of protein an individual should consume is going to be weight loss, weight maintenance, how many calories, what are they doing, what level of training are they doing. There's an age component to it. Do they have an injury? How high quality is the protein? Those are all going to be part of the story. In some cases, a protein supplement might be of use, but it's important to look at what the protein supplement is offering and what is the protein supplement consisting of. So the quality of the protein, the cost, is it really going to do any kind of enhancement, and is there potential for negative side effects? Let's take a look at the next slide. And here table 5.6 shows you the comparison between protein supplements and whole foods. Supplements can be helpful for individuals that have an extremely high need, and again we're going to look at these elite athletes that might be able to benefit from some supplements. It might be helpful for travel when food access is a little bit tenuous or in a pinch. However, when you look at the cost and the cost per serving and the grams per serving, we're looking at sources that are going to cost much less in many cases than the protein supplement, but that takes some preparation, and it's something to consider.